And who is that? Gopi. Gopi, you have recording permissions, right? Sridhar. Raju,
Sure.
Sutari Raju, you can record. Okay. Sridhar, let me give you the recording permissions. Yes, Sridhar, you can record the sessions. Okay, so I hope everyone got the recording permissions. You can record the sessions. And let me share my screen. Right. Okay, so usually we don't touch the live servers. Okay, our production servers. What is the reason? In case if something happened, if something goes wrong, okay, with our changes, so we don't know what is the exact issue. We don't know how much time again it will take to come back. Okay, so that's why we will have non-prod environments. Okay, so what are the servers that will come under non-prod environments? Stage servers, QA servers, dev servers, test servers, UAT servers. Okay, so it depends upon the organization. You can call it as UAT, you can call it as dev, you can call it as stage, you can call it as QA. So for a critical application, you will have three environments. Definitely you will have three environments. Production, stage, we can call it as a pre-prod also. This is production. These are all pre-prod or non-prod. Okay, again, don't confuse with the terminology. Pre-prod or non-prod. If a critical application will have these three environments. Okay, sometimes four environments also will have. Production, stage, QA, test. You want to patch the SQL server. We usually don't apply patches on production directly. First, we'll apply patches on test servers. We'll see if any challenges are there. If any challenges are there, we'll fix it. Then we'll apply it on QA. Okay. This is the hierarchy. Test is the least environment, then QA is the next priority environment, then stage. Okay. Next to prod is called stage environment. Stage means almost production, but not live. Okay. This is the live application or production application. Live or prod, both are same only. Okay. So first we'll apply patches on test. Then we'll apply, if it is successful, we'll apply patches on QA. If it is successfully apply on stage, if it is successful, then we'll apply on production server. At any stage, at any environment, if we got any errors, we'll try to fix it and we'll make sure the same errors are not getting on the production environment. In case if anything is there, first we'll fix the issues on the production, then we'll apply the patches. Okay, so in this way, we are going to manage and maintain the environments, prod environment and non-prod environment. And prod means only production servers will be there. Under non-prod, we have different servers, stage servers, QA servers, dev servers, test servers, UAT servers. Okay. So in some organization, they are going to take serious action in case if you are not applying any patches or not following rules. Okay. In handling non-prod environment also means for non-prod also, they will give that much importance. Okay, so you have to be very careful. We'll have change requests and all in case if we want to do anything on the servers, either prod servers or non-prod servers, we cannot do it directly. There is a process, there is a protocol called change. Okay, we have a change request in the organization. We'll follow change requests. Okay, so for example, if you want to run one script, if you want to run one script on the servers, so first of all, you have to raise a change request for this. QA means I have to check it. What is the terminology for QA? Okay. So in case if anyone knows, you can help us. QA, I don't know, but usually we are going to mention it as QA and all. I have to check it. What is the abbreviation for QA? Okay. Something quality, something is there. Okay. I'll check and update you. Fine. Quality analysis. Okay.
Quality.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Right. Quality analysis. Yeah. Right. So we have to run the scripts. Okay. So in case if you want to run script on any environment, okay, first we'll try to run it on stage environment. We'll try to run it on dev test environment. So we won't directly run the script. Why? Because we don't know what is the impact if you run the script directly. So first we'll raise a change request. Okay. So what is this change request? Change request is a kind of a request. Okay, so we are going to let everyone knows that I am running the script on this server. We'll mention on what date, at what time you are going to run the script. Any impacts are there. In case if you run the script, the server goes down or not. We'll have some questionnaire. Okay, we'll fill all the questionnaire and we'll submit the change. And there is a separate team called change team, CAB. Okay, change authority board will be there in the organization. CAB, Change Authority Board. Okay, CAB will verify all the changes, not only from SQL Server changes. It will verify all the changes, MySQL, NoSQL, Oracle, whatever changes are there across the organization. It will verify all the changes, and then it will conduct a meeting and it will ask us to discuss about the change. We have to explain about this change. Once they're satisfied, they will approve this change. Once change is approved, then only you have to execute that script. Not that much easy. Okay, don't think like we can directly execute the script. Executing script is very easy. Just you have to copy, you have to open the script, you have to click on execute button. 3 steps. But if you want to proceed, if you want to execute that particular script, you have to follow all these protocols. Okay, again I'll explain these things in the patching process. Don't worry about it. Right. So like this, we'll have the environments: prod environment, non-prod environment. So prod means the live applications support. Prod is going to support the live application, and non-prod might be for non-prod. We don't see any live applications or applications, but we are going to maintain the databases and all. Right. So where is our, yeah, Express editions? Okay, um, that's what we are saying. Okay, so you can install this Express edition only on non-prod environments. You cannot install on prod environments. Okay, if Microsoft, you can ask how Microsoft will found. Okay, Microsoft will regularly conduct audits. Okay, it will go to the company, every company. Okay, and it will conduct some audits every year. Microsoft team, people from Microsoft will come to us, will come to our company, and they will run some scripts and they will find out how many SQL servers we are using, how many of them are non-prod, how many of them are prod, how much we are paying to Microsoft. In case if you are using the SQL server and if you are not paying the money to the Microsoft, they will take legal action on the company. So that's why most of the companies don't take the risk. They will pay each and every single rupee to the Microsoft in case they are using. If they found, if you install any Express edition on the production environment, that is also okay issue. Microsoft, okay, don't leave us. Okay, you cannot install Express edition on the production. You may ask, sir, who will see? Okay, Microsoft people will see. There are some audits regularly they will conduct on each company. Each company means those who are using Microsoft products. They will go to that company and they will conduct the audits, and if they found anything on the audits, they will give penalties. Means 10 times, 20 times will be there. So that's why people or companies don't take the risk, okay, to face the legal challenges. And also you cannot install Express edition on the production environment. You can install this Express edition in the non-prod environment only, like stage, test, dev, and QA servers. Right, evaluation edition. Okay, evaluation edition is free for 180 days. It is also kind of Express edition only. 180 days means 6 months. Okay, so it is free for first 6 months. Later, in case if you want to use this evaluation edition, you have to pay for this evaluation edition amount, edition and all. Okay, same kind of things. Again, we have some limited challenges in the evaluation edition also. Right. So these are the main 3 editions: standard edition, developer edition, and enterprise edition. Enterprise edition is the highest edition, like a platinum pack, unlimited. Okay, express edition, I'm sorry, enterprise edition is the highest edition in the SQL servers. You can install on all the environments. See here, you can install enterprise edition on the non-prod also. Okay, but usually we don't install, but someone who don't know it, they are going to install enterprise edition on the non-prod environments also. Simply you have to pay more, that's it. Microsoft will, okay, will not allow to install Express edition in the production environment, but Microsoft will allow to install enterprise edition in the non-prod environment. See, okay, so what it means, they will simply look for the money. I don't know where you are going to install. If you are installing enterprise edition, you have to pay more, that's it. That is their motto, right? Okay, so standard edition, developer edition, enterprise edition, usually in the organizations we are going to see these 3 editions. These 2 rarely we can see. And up to SQL Server 2016, developer edition is the paid edition. Up to SQL Server 2016, developer edition is a paid edition. You have to pay for the developer edition. But from SQL Server 2017 onwards, developer edition is free. 2017 developer edition is free. 2019 developer edition is free. There is no big differences between a standard developer and enterprise edition. Most of the features are same. You can use all the features. There are some limitations in terms of hard disks, storage and all. That's it. Okay, you can use a lot of here also in the developer edition and in the standard edition also. You can use your database size might be more than 10 TB and all. You can use it, but there are slight differences in resources like RAM, okay, and storage. That is the only main difference between developer standard and enterprise edition. In the developer edition also, all features will work. In the standard edition also, all the features will work. In the enterprise, of course, okay, all the features will work. So a typical enterprise edition server cost is around $5,000. As discussed yesterday, one license cost is around $5,000. Okay, 5,000 means 5,000 into 72 rupees. It is cost approximately 3.5 lakhs. Okay, so like that, one SQL Server licensing cost is around $5,000. Right. So these are the editions of the SQL Server. Mostly we using SQL Server. Standard edition is a paid edition. Okay, same. All features are unlocked. All features are unlocked in the standard edition, developer edition, and enterprise edition also. So don't worry about these things. Okay. No need to remember what are the features that are going to support in standard or enterprise developer edition. All features are unlocked in the standard developer and enterprise edition. So from 2017 onwards, developer edition is free. Okay, so that lot of money is saved for the companies. First of all, lot of money is saved for the companies. Why? Because we are going to use developer edition in the non-prod environment, right? So in case if you want to install developer edition, you have to pay money for the Microsoft. But once once they give free edition, okay, so all people they just install developer edition in the non-prod environment, so they save a lot of money. Okay, fine. Yeah, let me discuss about the components of the SQL Server. So why I'm getting like this?
So,
Yes, yes.
so they can install developer edition pre-pod in one, sir.
Which one? Which one?
Stage, QA, UAT.
Which edition? Developer. Yeah. You can install. Yeah. You can install developer edition. Okay, on the prod, non-prod. Prod you cannot install. I'm sorry. On the prod environment, you cannot install developer edition. Free editions, simply free editions, you cannot install on production environments. Okay, this developer you can install on non-prod environment, stage, test, QA, dev and all. Okay, no problem. Right. Okay, so you can see the addition of the SQL servers by just going to the properties of the instance. Instance means a server only. Okay, server or instance, both are same. You can see here. Okay, Microsoft SQL Server Developer Edition 64-bit. Okay, so this is one way to find the edition of the SQL Server, and we have a query also. The query is selected at version. Okay, in the selected version itself, you can find the version of the SQL Server and edition of the SQL Server also. Okay, so you can run this query, select at version. Okay, so if you execute this query, you can see the output. This is, see here, RTM. Okay, you can ask what is this RTM, right? So RTM is the first software copy. The base copy of the version is called an RTM. You can see here in the brackets, released to market, which is paid. Means of course this is a developer, right? It is free. Just a double click, keep your cursor at the end of the column, double click on it. You can see the column will be expanded like this, and you can see Microsoft Corporation Developer Edition 64-bit. Okay, Microsoft Developer Edition 64-bit. So this is my Developer Edition. So in this way, you can find out the edition of the SQL Server. Okay, remember the query, select at version will help you to find out version of the SQL Server and edition of the SQL Server also. right? Or else you can find using right click properties of the server name. Okay, Microsoft SQL Server Developer Edition. From here also you can find out. Okay, right. Let me go back to the notepad. Components, right? So what are the components of the SQL Server? As discussed, SQL Server, we can use SQL Server to store the data, to process the data, and to retrieve the data. Who is going to do all these things? Who is going to store the data? Who is going to process the data? And who is going to retrieve the data? Who is going to do all these things?
DBS.
DBS.
DBS, they will maintain the database. Okay. So yes, on behalf of DBS, who will store the data?
Storage table. DB engine.
Your SQL Server will
Database
store
engine
the data.
will,
Very good. Database engine. Okay. So database engine, when you install SQL Server, you will get database engine. This is the main component of the SQL Server, guys. If there is no database engine, there is no SQL Server. Like how heart is important for us, how brain is there for us. Simply brain will store the data, will process the data, will retrieve the data, right? If there is no brain, there is no life, right? So in the same way, if there is no database engine, there is no SQL Server. Okay, so when you install SQL Server, or while installing the SQL Server, you have to choose this database engine. I'll show you. While installing SQL Server, I'll show you database engine services. This is a component. While installing the SQL Server, you have to choose this database engine services, and then only you can use SQL Server, okay, to store the data, to process the data, and to retrieve the data. Apart from this, you can use SQL Server, okay, to analyze the data. Not only storing, processing, and retrieving, for analyzing the data, okay, and for a reporting purpose. In case you want to generate reports, in case you want to generate reports by using a, see, for example, you all know Excel sheet, right? By using Excel sheet, you can generate reports also. Please mute in case if you don't have questions. Right. So by using this Excel sheet, you can generate reports, you can generate pie charts, bar charts, okay, right? In the same way, using our SQL Server, you can analyze the data first of all, and you can create reports by using SQL Server, okay? And you can integrate the data from different sources. You can integrate the data from different sources. Like for example, you want to, okay, export the data from Excel sheet to SQL Server. You want to import the data from SQL Server to like any other softwares. You can simply import and export the data from other data sources. From Excel sheet to SQL Server, you can import the data. From Oracle to SQL Server, you can import the data. From DB2 to SQL Server, you can import the data. From MySQL, from NoSQL, from other data sources to SQL Server, you can import it, and you can export from SQL Server to other data sources. You can export the data from SQL Server to Excel sheet. You can export the data from SQL Server to Oracle. For all these things, in case if you want to do import and export, we have to use, okay, that is called integration. We have to use separate services called SSIS, SQL Server Integration Services. In case if you want to generate reports using SQL Server, you have to use extra component called SSRS, SQL Server Reporting Services. In case you want to analyze the data using SQL Server, you can use SSAS, SQL Server Analysis Services. These three services are called BIDS, Business Intelligence Development Studio. Okay, so in the BIDS, usually if you want to try as business analyst, okay, so for that we have these three tools. You can learn these three tools: BIDS components, Business Intelligence Development Studio. Under this BIDS, you can learn SSAS, SSIS, SSRS, and all. I'll tell you how to install these services. As a DBA, our part is limited. Okay, we are not going to work on the SSIS, SSRS, SSAS and all. We will install it, we will configure it. That's it. As a DBA, we are limited to installations and configurations. We won't work on SSIS. SSIS, of course, we'll touch SSIS, but SSRS, SSAS and all, we won't work. Okay, simply we will install SSAS, SSRS, SSIS. SSIS while creating the maintenance plans. Okay, I'll show you how to work with SSIS and all. But SSAS, SSRS and all, there is a limitation. You can only install and you can only configure. As a DB, of course, in the organization also, no one will ask us to work on SSRS and all. There are some roles. Okay, they will ask you should have knowledge on SSRS and all, but hardly 1% or 2% they will ask knowledge on SSRS, SSAS and all. That's a completely, it's a vast topic. Okay, you have to learn 6 months for all these three components, SSIS, SSRs. In case if you found a good trainer, he can teach you almost 4 to 6 months for these three components. Okay, it's a vast subject. In case if you want to try as a business analyst, you can learn these things, right? But our part is limited to installations and configurations for these three components. Apart from database engine, we can also, okay, in the SQL Server pack, software pack, we will also get these components. Okay, if you want, you can choose, you can select and you can install it. While installing, the customer, the user will let us know. In case if he needs analysis services, he will let us know, so that we'll select analysis services. If you need reporting services, he will let us know, we'll select reporting services. If you need integration services, he will let us know, so we'll select integration services while installing. And again, these are extra. Okay, these are extra cheese you have to buy from Microsoft. Don't think in the enterprise edition I will get it free. No, enterprise edition is limited to the database engine. Okay, in the database engine you can install, you can work with all the features of database engine. But in case if you want to install these three components, you have to pay extra for that. That's why if you don't use, people don't ask us to install these things. If they are going to use, they will ask us to install. They will have their own separate developers. BIDS, BITS developers will be there. They are going to work on it. Okay, so these are the main components of the SQL servers. Database engine services is main everything. Okay, processing, storing, retrieving, everything will be done by the database engine only. If there is no database engine, there is no SQL server. So we have to choose database engine while installing the SQL servers. Apart from the database engine, we will also get analysis services, reporting services, integration services in the software. So depends upon the user's requirements or user's request, you have to choose these three components. Okay, right? So these are the components of the SQL servers, right? So now what I'll do, I'm going to explain about virtual machine, virtualization, right? So later this one we are going to start, okay, creating virtual boxes. Yes, tell me. Yes.
So here in this component, we are learning only database engine services and BIDS only, sir.
Not
Only two components.
BIDS we
slide.
do. See, yeah, in this course we'll completely learn about database engine services. Okay, first thing. And BIDS, again, I'll show you how to install it. That's it. Okay, so I told you, right, BIDS, if you want to learn BIDS, okay, so you have to like go for again 4 months to 6 months training, and that is only for business analysts. In case if you want to try as business analyst, you can go for BIDS. Okay, but in our course I'll show you how to install these three components. Okay,
These things will be covered under business intelligence.
yes,
topic.
yes. Right, any questions, guys?
So we learn only database engine services.
Only database engine service. We are going to learn completely database engine services.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, right, fine, right. Okay, so yes, any questions?
We have 5 editions, no sir?
5 editions. Yes.
Which we can use in production, which can we use in non-production?
Can anyone help him?
Usually the free editions will not use in the production servers. The only paid services we have to use in production servers.
Okay, so Express Edition we don't use on production environment. Okay, Express Edition, Evaluation Edition, Developer Edition. Developer Edition is also free from 2017, right? So in case if you are using a Developer Edition from 2017, that also you cannot install on production environment. Okay, see, production environment apart from Express, you can install everything, right? So production you can install, Enterprise Edition you can install on production environment. Okay, Developer Edition, Standard Edition, of course you cannot install this developer standard on the production environment. Why? Because production environment there is a difference in pricing. Okay, there is a difference in pricing, of course, as there are some differences are there in the features. Pricing also slightly different between your Developer Edition and Enterprise Edition. Paying amount for Developer Edition, and if you are using the same Developer Edition on the production servers, they won't accept. Okay, why? Because they will get more money if you use Enterprise Edition, but you are paying money for Developer Edition and you are using it on the production environment, which is legally challenging. Okay, so that's why you cannot use this developer and standard on the production environments. Okay, Enterprise Edition you cannot, you can use it on the, okay, Enterprise Edition you can use it on the production environment. Enterprise Edition you can use on the non-prod also. Why? Because they are getting more money, right? They won't stop you. Enterprise Edition you can use in the stage environment. Enterprise Edition you can install in the dev environment, QA environment also. They won't stop you. They will encourage you. Okay, but who is going to pay more money? Your company has to pay more money. So standard, developer, Express you cannot install on the production environments. Enterprise Edition you can install on any environment, but if you install on non-prod environment you have to pay more. If you install on production environment, of course that is worth. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Right, so let me go with this virtualization. What is this virtualization? How we are going to use this virtualization? So before to this virtualization, earlier in the 90s or 80s, if you see the computer, okay, so you can imagine the size of the computer. Okay, it's like a small building kind of thing. For doing 1 + 1 is equal to 2, you will have a big building earlier in the 80s, 70s and all. Later the size is going to change. Why? Because there is a development in the technology. They are going to introduce a lot of features and all, so the size came to small. Now you can use small computers also. Okay, so like laptops and all. Right, physical machines, we have two types of machines in the organizations. Okay, two types of machines. PM means physical machines. VM means virtual machines. What is the difference between PM and VM? Physical machines means the laptop which you are using. You can see it, you can touch it, you can feel it. That is called physical machine. You can see with your eyes, you can touch with your hands, you can feel it. Of course, if you can see, touch means you can feel it, right? So that is called physical machine. You can see with your naked eyes. That is called physical machine. Virtual machines, you cannot see, you cannot touch, you can feel it. Virtually it will be existed. Okay, virtual machines means virtually it will be existed. So for any software, for any computer, what are the three major components? Any machine, what are the three major components for any machine?
Processor,
Audio,
RAM,
Okay,
hard disk,
CPU, memory,
CPU,
storage. Okay,
storage.
right? For any machine, we should have these three components. CPU will help you to process the data. Memory will help you to store the data temporarily. Storage will help you to store the data permanently. Right? So these three are main components. So later in the 90s, okay, virtualization came into the market. What is this virtualization? By using physical resources, we can create multiple virtual machines. By using, of course, in case if you want to create virtual machine also, you should have CPU, RAM, memory and all. The only thing is, see here, in my machine, this is my laptop, right? You can see my laptop, right? So you can see here, this is Oracle VirtualBox software. By using the resources of my laptop, by using RAM of my laptop, by using CPU of my laptop, by using storage of my laptop, see here, I have created these many virtual machines. These are the virtual machines, means in my laptop 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 machines are there. These are 11 laptops only. In a single laptop we have 11 laptops, but created virtually. By using my resources, by taking my physical laptop resources, okay, we just created 11 machines. I cannot start all the machines at a time. Why? Because if you start it, it is going to use my RAM. If you start it, it is going to use my storage. If you start it, it is going to use my CPU. I can start hardly, depends upon my limitation. I have 10 GB or 12 GB RAM. I have 12 GB RAM. Okay. And depends upon the limitations of this laptop. Either I can, at a time, I can start 3 machines or 4 machines. Okay, if you keep starting all machines need RAM, all machines need CPU, all machines need storage, right? How can I accommodate in my 12 GB RAM? I cannot share, right? So that is the main challenge. So by using your physical resources, you can create virtual machines. Of course, to create the virtual machines, in case if this virtual machines has to run up and running, they are going to use RAM, CPU and memory storage, okay, from your physical machine only. So by using physical resources, we'll have pool of resources, guys. We will have pool of resources. Okay, we will have something around okay, 2000 GB RAM will be there, some 20 terabytes of storage will be there, some okay, 200 CPUs will be there. Okay, so using these resources, in case you want to create a virtual machine with a 16 GB RAM. The meeting is going to close now. Okay, let me close the meeting. Let me reopen the meeting. Please join immediately with the same link. Okay.